Well, I've been hove to off the coast of Tonga for an hour and a half maybe, until it got daylight. Sun's up enough now to go in, so we're about I think about 2 miles, maybe 3 miles off the reef. Spin you around. So that's our first glimpse of Tonga. Been blowing pretty hard all night. We've got another boat coming in called Endeavour. Sorry, Eucalypt. He's on AIS. He's an Australian boat as well. So I think he's come across from Newey. It's blowing 20 knots or something. Once we go through here, we should get out of the swell. So these are the outer islands. A couple of fishing boats about too. It'd be nice to get out of this swell actually. So, dropped off a bit, it's only about 14-15 knots now. So it's been last 3 days 20 to 25, which has brought on a pretty fierce chop on top of the swell. The westerly winds and an easterly swell, so big long 3 metre, maybe 10-11 second period swell coming from the east, meeting a short chop from the west. Hasn't been very nice. Quite obvious, might not be so on the camera, but the swell virtually stops in 100 metres. We're about halfway in to the port. Certainly a different landscape to what I'd envisaged. A lot more structure to it. This is the town anchorage. I think beluga diving is down below.
Hey!
The undercover market. Under a beautiful big shade tree. This is the small boat harbour. And 38 South's halfway up the anchorage, inshore, close to the shore. Pretty gnarly wharf. It's pretty angry. There's not a lot you can do about it. I've got the barge board out on the outside of the fenders, but it still overhangs on the top, so just got to hope it sits off nicely. It's the only place really to come in alongside, but gee, there's not a lot of clearance. Not a lot of clearance on the boat as well, but I've sprung it off and it looks alright, so I'm just going to duck up into town, grab some veg, a couple of other bits and pieces I've checked out, and then we're off to Savusavu. This is the fisherman's wharf. Not the customs dock. I didn't go alongside the customs dock. One, there's a Navy patrol boat along there, but it's a lot higher and there's a lot more overhang, so it's really difficult to get alongside. But this is the port, Nifau, and I've just been to customs. I've paid my port fees. They were 14 top. Which is $7 Australian for the week. The anchoring fee, no fee for customs. It was 100 for bio security coming in, nothing to go out, and I've been cleared by health. So that's the customs dock and the patrol boat there. But this is pretty much the formalities. There's ports office, there's the biosecurity, and customs is on just, it's a desk in the middle of the warehouse down below. Everybody's sort of taken the opportunity. There's a big line of people at customs trying to check out. So the customs guy's flat out. Well, I'm in the fresh veggie market, and there's some really nice looking stuff, local stuff. I've just bought myself a cabbage. Oh, I need eggs too, but not a tray. So I might get some bananas. There's some beautiful tomatoes. I think I've still got tomatoes in the fridge though. And some carrots. And bananas. There we go. No, I think it'll just be eggs today. There we go. Well, it's farewell Tonga. Just leaving Nifau Harbour now, Savusavu, and heading out through the passage here, right down to the end and turn right, and next stop Fiji in about 3 days. Oh, got a little bit of rope work to do, so back in a tick. Oh no, we're back again. Or are we? Nah, I'll have to go, have to jibe. There we go, back again. We've jibed the headsail, just under headsail at the moment. It's only about 15 knots. 15 knots behind me, or across the deck. It's probably blowing 20, a bit over 20, 25 maybe. But the good thing is I'm going with it, it's downhill. Pretty much all the way to Fiji, which will be good. It's always a calmer run, easier on everyone, on me, on the boat, going downhill. But yeah, I'm one of about 10 boats leaving today. We've been stuck in here for a few days now, and waiting for a weather window. The weather maps predict wind and windy, and that they just looked angry and red everywhere. So it was blowing 30-35 knots out of here in the last few days. So once I clear the islands, we're probably going to be up for a fairly tidy swell for 24-48 hours. The wind's dropped maybe 15 knots in the last 12 hours or so. It'll take the sea a little time to sort itself out and steady off a bit. So it'll be a bit sporty for the first day or so. But then it's going to glass out a little bit. So by the time I get to Fiji, I think we'll only have maybe 10 to 15 knots, which is still enough. Better than nothing. A lot better than nothing. But it'll be a nice calmer ride in. So there we are. That's Tonga, and I really wish had more time to spend here. It's whale season. There's a lot of whale watching tours and swimming with the whales. So they'll take groups of 4 out on a boat and chuck you in the water where the humpbacks are, and you're allowed to swim with them. It's one of the few places in the world apparently that you can do that. I think Aitutaki's the same. You can they've got permits to actually jump in the water and swim with the whales. I know in Australia, you've got an exclusion zone around any whales in the water, but over here they seem to do it pretty well. And yeah, and the tourism represents that. There's so many tourists here, and all of the boat tours and that are full. I know in where was I going to go? I was going to stop in at an island on the way, or that's a deep water port, and it only has a limited number of moorings, and they were all full. And so it was going to be difficult anyway, because I'm on my own, and there's no harbour per se. You get into the harbour, and there we go. We just got one of the boats coming in now. But yeah, the harbour's pretty rough to stay in, limited moorings, and to get your dinghy or to get ashore, you've got to go into a concrete dock where there's always swell. So they've got a crane on the dock, and you hook your dinghy up and wind your dinghy or crank your dinghy up out of the water, and they've got cradles there on the dock, and you grab a cradle and settle your dinghy into a cradle and then wheel it off to a parking spot. So there's a dinghy car park on the wharf, and then when you're ready, you come back, lift your dinghy in, and put the trailer back, and away you go. But a bit difficult on my own, so I wasn't gonna stop there, which was a good thing, because they were all the moorings were full, and with the wind that they've had, apparently people have been seasick on their moorings, and that with the southwesterly swell that's been rolling right into the harbour. I say harbour, it's just the sheltered side of the island. There's no harbour to speak of. But get to Savusavu, and it's a very sheltered spot apparently. We've got a mooring organised there, and so we'll jump on the mooring, check into Fiji, tidy up the boat, and then organise my flight home to Melbourne. It's going to be a bit of an odyssey getting to Nadi Airport, because the island at Savusavu, I think it's a 2.5 hour ferry ride across. It's an hour from Savusavu to the port. You've got to go from one side of the island to the other. Then you catch a 2.5 hour ferry. When you get there, you've got another 1.5 hour bus down to Suva, and then you've got another couple of hours in a bus from Suva to Nadi. So it's going to be a bit of a journey heading home. I might even get a motel for a night or so in Nadi near the airport. I'm told there's some pretty good sort of reasonable accommodation options there to use. But I'll just swing you around. So I've got the engines running at the moment, and the headsail. Once I clear this area, I'm going to come around up into wind, and I'll get the main up. I can't do that, can't haul it up downwind. I've got to be pointing upwind to get it, and at the moment the wind is 150 degrees coming in off our port quarter. So swing up into the wind, haul the main up, and then I can turn the engines off. But just for now, while we're in the harbour, I'll leave it up. I got Wilson still up in the net, and my onions. I grabbed some more veggies from the market, and we're all set. So I might have some more May for dinner. I've still got about 5 bags of May in the freezer, so I'll have to use them before we go. And I've got mince, and I've got diced beef and diced pork, so I don't think I'm going to actually get through it all. I'm not doing myself a stir fry. Bought a cabbage today, which I was trying to get a piece of one, but could only buy a whole cabbage, so it's not going to be nice. Not going to be nice in the cabin. It's probably a good job on my own. But there we go. So there we go. There's our tracks going in and out everywhere there. So we'll come out here. There we go. We'll come out around here. There's our first waypoint on the Fiji leg. So we go all the way across here into the Lao group. So this is the eastern Lao group and the southern Lao group of Fiji. But unfortunately, you're not allowed to stop there. You've got to go in. That's Savusavu in here. So up around there and into there, and right up into here is where the moorings are. So just come round a little bit. Yep, that's where we're going. 407 nautical miles, I think it is. And distance to the first waypoint is 4.55 nautical miles at this speed, 1 hour. We're only doing, we're doing 5 knots. There we go. There we go. Out past those islands on the left, we've got to go around them, and then it's open ocean. So these are the westernmost couple of small islands around here, and we're set. I'm just going to leave just the headsail up at the moment till I get away from land, because I've got a feeling I'll get out from behind all this stuff. We might get a bit of action, so I'll wait till I've cleared the land properly. It's absolutely beautiful here. It really is. It's a shame we're not spending a lot more time here, because you could spend a month or two just cruising around here. Very sheltered. You can tuck into a little anchorage with this sort of hill, a little bay, and you're pretty much sheltered from anything. And you, depending on which direction the wind's coming from, you can tuck in, either side of these little islands, and get quite a bit of shade or protection. Yep. There we have it. Few masts dotted around here and there. Magnificent. I've not seen dolphins for a long time. Not that there's any here now, there's none here now. I reckon we've probably got 15 knots. Yeah, 14. Doing quite nicely. Alright, well, engines are off. Sails are set. We've got 2 reefs in the main. And we've got a goose wing genoa. So out the other side. So we're called wing on wing, as they say. 5.5 knots. We've got 5.5 knots boat speed, well up to almost 6 now. Winds at 10 knots over the stern. The actual speed, velocity made good, which is the actual speed towards our waypoint, which may be a little different to the boat speed, but at the moment we're dead downwind, so they should almost be the same. So bearing to the waypoint's 285. We're currently 289 over the ground. That'll sort of waver backwards and forwards. 281 nautical miles, and waypoint time to go 2 days 1 hour 21 minutes, and that will change as soon as our boat speed changes a little bit here and there. It'll keep instantaneously updating the arrival. So we'll just I'll go back to get back to our right screen, the one that we want. There we go, that's the one. Make that one active, and now we'll zoom out. So here we are. There's Bavu, and we'll keep zooming out, and so there we are. There's as I said before, it's the Lao group that we've got to navigate in around a couple of the islands, and then across to Savusavu, and yeah, in a couple of days. So we'll find the boat again. There we go. Just zoom in a bit so we can see. There's quite a few boats heading this way, either to Suva or to Savusavu. So we'll see if we see any of them on the way. There's another Lagoon 380. I was chatting to the guy in at customs. He checked out just ahead of me. He's off to Suva as well. He's got somebody, he's been delayed here like me with the winds, and he's got somebody staying in an accommodation in Suva waiting for him to arrive. He's running behind due to the weather, so he had someone, a guest, fly in, and they've had to wait. But this is the last look at Tonga as we sail away. Lots of caves. In fact, there's 3 or 4 caves at water level that are really good snorkeling. You can drive your dinghy in and out of a couple of them. One of them, it's a bit like Thunderball Grotto in the Bahamas. You've got the entrance is underwater, so you've got to snorkel down and swim underwater through the opening into the cave inside. Apparently it's a beautiful aquarium. There's fish of all descriptions in there. But for me, that'll be, well, next time. If there's a next time. I haven't done really any sightseeing here at all, other than just a bit of a wander around the town of Nifau. But yeah, we're all secured. Dinghy's up and secured. I must take the bung out too. Got to leave the bung out, because if it starts raining, you end up with a dinghy full of water, and your davit's broken, and that, because it'll just exceed their rated weight with a boat full of water. So I'll do that now, I think. Well, we're just offshore. We've got a rain squall coming in behind us and a beautiful rainbow. The strongest rainbow that I've seen for many years. It is so bright. I've got a yacht behind us, so I've got rain coming. But the rainbow is beautiful. And I can see both ends of it. I've got it up over there and then down to there. That's fantastic. So I've come out from behind the islands a bit now, so we're starting to get into the swell. Oh, hang on, I'm all tangled up. Got my lifeline on. So we've got probably only 1.5 meters swell at the moment, which is yeah, quite nice. And we're almost dead downwind. And we were doing 7s and 8s, yeah, 7.5 knots. 7.1. We've got rain squalls ahead of us too. Got rain squalls out to the side. I'm thinking it's going to get wet at some point very soon. Well, it is what it is. I've got one full tank of water, 300 litres, which I've just started, and the other tank's empty. So if it's calm enough that I'm not getting salt spray on the decks and the sails, then I'll set up the water harvesting system, and if we get a good downpour I can get a fair bit into that second tank, top that up before I get to Fiji. If not, then I'll set it up in Fiji, and if we get any rain, then we can fill it up there. But chasing the sun, we're sailing right into the setting sun. Not sure what the time is. 10 to 5. Another. It's getting darker a bit later now, so we'll have a couple more hours of daylight. So go in and work out what I'm going to have for dinner. I had a big chicken burger from the Tropicana Cafe at lunchtime, just after I checked out, and I went up to the shop to get some groceries, fruit and veg. So I'm pretty full. So it might be just a cup of soup and a sandwich, or 2-minute noodles, or something light. Anyway, I've got a preventer on the boom. Keep the boom in place to prevent any accidental jibes, because we're right dead downwind. In fact, the wind is a little bit into the port quarter, which we can suffer about around to 160 on this side, with the main out on this side. But if it starts getting any more than that, then we'll have to jibe, which yeah, we'll see how we go, see what happens. Well, it's day 3, morning of day 3. we were expecting it to glass out. The wind's dropped down to about 4 knots, 3 to 4 knots. So I've got an engine going. We were travelling at about anywhere between 2.5 and 3.5 knots, dropping down below 2, just sort of flopping around. Nothing in the sails to say, like to give us any propulsion. So we've got an engine running, 2000 RPM, and we're doing about 5.5 knots, depending on where we are in the wave. You go up to 6 and down to 4.5, but we're getting a little bit of forward motion anyway. We've had about I think we had 43 miles to go to the first of the islands in the Lao group. The forecast says that we're going to get a little bit more coming in from the north. It'll still be easterly, but the pattern's dropping down from the north. So once we get that, then hopefully we'll get a bit more speed for the last 130 miles or something from the Lao group into Savusavu. But for now, eggs on toast I think for breakfast, and got a coffee on the go, so we'll throw it in the air and see where it falls. But it's certainly different to what it was day one. The swells dropped off considerably. Still a bit messy, but it's settling down. It'll continue to do that over the next sort of 12, 40, 24 hours. Time for breakfast. Okay, so we're motoring on both motors, 1800 RPM at the moment, with virtually no wind. But what's happened is the topping lift here has come off the back of the boom. It's worn through the fitting at the base of the boom. Let me just clip on. Going up here, I'm gonna make sure I'm attached. Have to come in from the other side. Got to climb up. Alright, got myself perched up here now, but there's the fitting on the end of the boom. So I've got to now attach the topping lift somehow. Earlier on in the trip we had a failure of the bail underneath the boom that in here that attaches the main sheet block, which let the boom go flying around the place, and I did some big wraps with some Dyneema, which is okay for now, till we get back to Oz, and I'll fix that then. But it's just a shitty connection on the it was never meant to take the loads that it gets on this main sheet, but that's aside from the point. So the trick now will be to re-thread, and I'll probably just do two wraps of the topping lift around the boom and tie it back on itself, so that it's there's a bail on top of the boom, and I'll go through the bail to stop it sliding forward. But just about to furl the headsail as well, because that's doing nothing. But yeah, it's now it's actually nice. It's up to 30 degrees since Atataki, and before actually the wind, the temperature dropped down to the low 20s, and it was probably for a while, certainly in Vauvau, it was 22 degrees, something like that. Quite cool, and I've had a coat on overnight, sailing, cold wind, but the wind's dropped off. Skies are clear now, and we were down around 20, lower than 20 degrees south, and I'm headed north now to Fiji, so we're at 17 degrees 36 minutes, so we're a couple of degrees north, and ironically, well, not ironically, logically, the sea temperature is starting to rise. We were down to 22.2, and we're up to 23.7 now, so makes it a little bit more appetising to get in the water. But we'll get in and make these repairs. I can't drop the main while there's no topping lift on there, so this black line goes right to the top, to the end of the boom, and that holds the boom up. The sail holds it up while it's in shape, like fully up. But as soon as you start to drop the sail, of course the boom will just come down and sit on top of the bimini, which, you know, obviously we don't want. So that as soon as you start to drop the sail, the topping lift takes up the weight of the boom, keeps it off the top of the bimini, and without that we can't drop the sails without doing a bit of damage. Okay, just like that, reattached. We'll have to go to the other side because we're looking up into the sun. Just come under here. So yeah, twice around the boom, back on itself, and it's locked off, and now it's reattached. We can drop the sail. Well, it's certainly glassed out. We're on motors still. We've just hit the first waypoint on the trip. We're just entering the Eastern Lao group, part of Fiji. There's a reef just off to our right and an island further back. Another island here. It's a bit difficult, it's a bit hazy and right into the sun, but we've virtually got no wind, and there's islands down to the other side as well. But yeah, I'll be on motors for a while now, I think. But the Lao group, I'll just go down and we'll have a look at the plotter. We're not allowed to stop on the way in, so I'll just swing you round. So we've come 300 nautical miles across here, and we're just entering this area here. The island we can see ahead of us is this one. I think it's 800 feet, 950 feet, and 870, two different peaks, so quite conspicuous. Part of the Lao group of islands here. We're on our way up to Savusavu, but there's no port of entry down here. These are part of Fiji, but you can't stop. You've got to go and check in first if you want to come back and cruise around here, and the authorities are all over it. There's been a couple of boats quite heavily fined. There's Suva down here, and we're going up here to Savusavu. What do we got? We got 119 nautical miles to go to our destination, and next waypoint, let's go to advance that 39. So we've got to safely pass this one, and then we've got another one on our left up here in 40 miles, and then it's a straight trip through. So there we are, the Eastern Lao group, and we'll just go out and have another squiz. Quite conspicuous. I'll sneak past these guys at a safe distance. I think we're about two miles off. The straight line ran almost straight through. It was a bit close to this island, so I just moved our rum line across a couple of miles to make it safe to pass without any risk of hitting anything. But yeah, that's it. So 119 miles. We do about 150 in 24 hours. So it's 4:30. So probably lunchtime tomorrow. We'll get into Savusavu. Hopefully we get some wind back and we can sail a bit of that. I think there was a bit of wind to the north of us, which might drop down. If it does, all well and good. If not, well, we'll take it as it comes. Well, it's about 10 to 5 in the morning, and we're as we've been coming west, our longitude has been increasing, and we're just approaching the 180 degree meridian. I'm not sure if it's going to come out in the on the plotter or not, but look at the longitude, and we've just crossed 180 degrees, and we're now we were 179 degrees 59 minutes west, and we just crossed 189 degrees 180 degrees, and we're now 179 degrees 59 minutes east. So we're exactly 180 degrees from the prime meridian in Greenwich, and we've crossed over, and our longitude now is decreasing. So yeah, the other significant milestone, if you like, was crossing the equator from the northern hemisphere through 0 degrees and coming south, and now we've crossed 180 degrees. Just coming around the point now and up into the bay to Savusavu, so we've pretty much arrived. About another half an hour, and we'll be in the creek. It's pretty sheltered. Finally got a bit of wind back, so we're motor sailing. I've got to keep the speed up. It's we're going to get in about 3:30, so I want to try and get customs, immigration, biosecurity, and that done before knock off, before they start hitting me with penalty rates for after hours. So we'll keep going and be there shortly.
have you sent your C2, C4?
Yes, ANA.
And your last,
Advance notice of arrival. Yes.
and you have your last port was
Tonga.
Tonga.
Yeah.
They're going to organize the government official to come in.
Yes, yes. I'll just wait here. It doesn't matter if it's today or tomorrow.
So you will be here for quite some time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to fly home to Australia for a couple of months and then come back.
You can stay as long as you want there on the boat.
Oh, good. All right. Now, if it's getting late.
Yeah, the office will close at 5.
Right. Okay.
So how quick I get back to them,
Yep.
we will wait.
Okay. If not, I'm happy to wait on the boat overnight, and we can do it in the morning. You ask them, and if they want to wait, then that's okay with me.
Okay. And your name is
Rick Cooper.
Rick
Cooper.
Rupa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, here we are. This is Savusavu. Nice and sheltered, hills all around. Nice little harbour. So, well, this could be my officials coming now to do the check-in. Well, we'll soon see. There we go, leaving it for a few months now, and back into town off the airport. Just looking at the mountains. It's alright, keep going. Yeah, it's alright. This is Naui Island Marina. There's a ferry that runs backwards and forwards every half an hour. The only way on and off the island.
got no